It's 1 a.m. Everyone else is asleep, and your brain won't let you rest. Because of something that lasted maybe 10 seconds. Not a fight, not a big mistake. Just one small moment, one line you said, or didn't say. And somehow, it won't leave you alone. You replay it, what you should have said, what they might have thought, how it sounded. And the more you replay it, the worse it feels. And here's what nobody tells you about that. Your brain isn't torturing you. It's trying to solve something. But here's the part most people miss. It's not even about the moment. That's why it won't stop. Because when your brain replays that one thing, it's not opening one memory. It's opening a pattern. Every time you've ever felt like that, every time you felt awkward, or exposed, or not enough, all of it shows up at once. And suddenly, it's not just a small moment anymore. It feels bigger than it actually is. That's the trap. And this is why it hits hardest at night. During the day, your brain is distracted. Messages, people, noise. It doesn't have time to process everything. But at night, everything goes quiet. And your brain finally gets space to go back. Not to remember, to analyze. To figure out, was that safe? Did you mess up? Did they judge you? Because your brain doesn't care about peace. It cares about protection. And in your brain's world, social mistakes feel like risk. Getting judged, being misunderstood, looking less capable than people think. Even if nothing actually happened, your brain treats the possibility as real. So it keeps going back. Replay it once. Was it bad? Maybe. Replay it again. What should you have said? Again. What do they think of you now? And without noticing, you're stuck in a loop. You replay it. It feels more important. Your brain holds on to it and replays it again. That's how the loop builds. And this is where it gets worse. You're not just remembering the moment. You're trying to fix it. In your head, you're saying it better, responding smarter, acting differently. And for a second, it feels like you solved it. But your brain knows something you don't. That version didn't actually happen. So it pulls you back. Again. Because it's still trying to answer one question. Was that safe? And here's the part that explains why this hits some people harder. Before any conversation, your brain quietly sets a version of how it should go. Most people don't notice this. They only feel it when they fall short. And the higher that expectation, the bigger the gap feels. A small mistake against a low expectation. It's nothing. A small moment against a very high expectation. Feels like evidence. Evidence that you're not as good as people think. That if people really saw you, they'd see through you. That's why this hits hardest for people who are actually capable. Not because they're weak. Because their standards are high enough that even small gaps feel huge. So now your brain has everything it needs to stay stuck. A moment, a pattern, and a gap. And it keeps looping, trying to resolve it. But here's the truth. Replaying it will never resolve it. Because replaying is the signal your brain reads as still a problem. So it keeps going. And telling yourself it's fine doesn't work either. Because your brain doesn't believe words. It believes signals. So what does it actually need? Not perfection. Certainty. It needs to know, this is over. This was safe. This doesn't need solving anymore. So instead of replaying it, give your brain something it can close. That moment is over. They've already moved on. I felt that. And it passed. Not to convince yourself, but to signal the thread is gone. And when your brain pulls up everything else, every similar moment, recognize it. That's not proof something is wrong with you. That's the pattern opening. You don't have to go through all of it tonight. Most of the time, the other person has already forgotten, but your brain hasn't. Not because it's broken, because it's trying to protect you in a world where social signals matter. And once you see that, something changes. That replay loses its grip. Not instantly, but enough to let you rest. So the next time it's 1 a.m. and your brain brings that moment back, don't fight it. Just recognize it. This isn't me overthinking. This is my brain trying to keep me safe. And once you see it that way, you stop getting pulled in. And slowly, it lets go. If this felt uncomfortably accurate, subscribe. Because this channel is for people whose minds don't just think, they loop. And every video here breaks down what your brain is doing. So you can finally understand it, instead of getting stuck inside it.